Hmm. Um, let's see. Are there mass questions? Let's take a look. Does not appear to be the case. This is the beta, so should be this one. Okay. Oh, well, that was abrupt, I suppose. Well, I guess we're streaming anyway. Um, let's see. Let's check the calendar. I think I have something else going on. Um, there's something else happening, right? I feel like I'm like tricking myself into feeling like I'm being productive. Let's see. Um, wow, not till noon. Kind of cringe, bro. Okay. Well, let's play around and then actually, maybe there's, I don't know, there's probably some YouTube thingy to watch. Something I'm long overdue to catch up on. Far too many hours not done. Yesterday. Yikes. Mm. Oh, okay. Oh, no, 17 days. Rip. 222. Nope. Ideally, the things that I'm trying to put on here are more or less things that either like take forever to get recorded. Um, but if I have to pretend I'm being productive by doing something education related, then I'm sure I'll find it. Okay, yeah, like the MAAATH thing is done. Have a gander over on Twitter, I suppose. Make sure my connection isn't cutting. It might be. That's actually kind of fucking hilarious. Okay, I gotta give you a retweet. Oh, okay, yeah, I gotta remind. Okay, where's Obsidian? Where's my tasks? I gotta reapply to Google and Microsoft after landing page. Okay, we'll make a landing page later. Maybe we can stream that because I'm sure it'll be a fucking mess. Um, hmm. Oh my god, I'm about to fucking leave this server. They oh, okay, so they're playing games. So am I. LOL. Okay, well, fuck it. I'll just play some video games real quick and then figure out what else we're gonna do later, I suppose. We've been wizarding. We lost the god kit. We lost the kit to end all kits. Don't mind if I do. Okay, well, I guess we can listen to Yannick's thing from yesterday. Even though that's ancient by now. Pharmacist. From other models. Uh-huh. Very nice. The super agent markup language? Oh my god. Why is everybody doing this? Like, why do you need to make a DSP for your PyPy package, bro? Am I in this server? I assume I am, aren't I? Wow, I'm surprised. Okay, I'll have to find something to leave later for that. Okay, is Gary Cardone just like spamming Twitter spaces now? Okay, no, none of those things seem particularly productive. I mean, but it's content, unique content, right? Hmm.
They made their own. So I looked into it.
Wait, sorry. One second. Real quick.
What?
I need to call you, so give me a second.
Oh man, I wanted to talk to Grodka.
What the fuck? Hmm. There's a
That's old. Ooh, actually, this one is gonna be good. Let's do that. I found it. I'm gonna dump that. Okay, so I found our YouTube video that we're gonna play on the side here. And it's a banger. So let's do this, and then this can be okay. So llama index 0.10. I think I'll probably put the game small, I guess, just because like there might be text people want to read for this. Yeah, so I don't, if you didn't hear about it, or if you're not a weird AI nerd, Llama Index has a new release. There's going to be a hackathon for it in SF next weekend. And if I have anything to say about it, there will be an online one as well. We'll keep everybody posted on that. But at the moment, I haven't played with Llama Index, so let's do that, or like let's hear about all the cool stuff.
Our LLMs giving a comprehensive overview of Llama Index v10, our biggest update to the framework to date, and a very big change. And we'll go over all the different components and explain why it makes Llama Index one of the leading data frameworks to help build your production LLM applications. So let's go through all the main aspects of Llama Index v10 and talk about how they work.
I don't want true here actually on this book.
Change in Llama Index v10 is a package refactor. We created a Llama Index core package that contains all the core abstractions and components of Llama Index, and then separated out all our hundreds of integrations and templates into separate packages. And this includes everything from our LLMs, vector stores, data loaders, indexes, tools, and a lot of other things, along with all our pre-built templates, also called Llama packs. And all of these are now versioned and tracked as separate packages. And so you have a core base from which you can use to build your LLM applications, you know, your retrievers, your core indexes, some query engines, response synthesis modules. And then you can leverage all the integrations within our ecosystem by installing separate packages for each of these integrations. We'll explain why in just a bit, but this really makes setting up your package management for your LLM application much more decoupled, cleaner, and less prone to breakage. The second update is that Llama Hub is now the central hub for all these integrations. And before, Llama Hub primarily was a hub for specifically data loaders, tools, as well as Llama packs. Now it's a central hub for all our integrations, including LLMs, vector stores, embeddings. And our vision for Llama Hub is really to be a central community-driven ecosystem of all the connectors that you could possibly use to build any sort of LLM-powered application.
Okay, so it looks like these are 400.
Component, and this is familiar to anyone who has used Llama Index in the past, is we had this construct called service context, and we deprecated it. It was clunky, it was a little bit opaque, people didn't really know what the default parameters were, and so we just got rid of it. And so we'll go through some code examples to show you how to pass in different types of arguments with this object now deprecated. So let's start with the package refactor, which is the biggest change and the reason the PR ended up being about 2 million lines long and over. The Llama Index ecosystem has had hundreds of integrations pop up over the past year. You know, we are one of the leading frameworks for building production-grade RAG agents and a lot of other use cases. And our ecosystem has expanded to encompass over 150 plus data loaders, 35 plus agent tools, 50 plus Llama pack templates for you to, as code examples for you to easily get started, 50 plus LLMs, 40 plus vector stores, 25 plus embeddings, and a lot more stuff. So the community has been one of the core foundations for Llama Index, and they contributed a lot of awesome tools that anyone using Llama Index can just go and use and plug into their application. But over time, as this has gotten very big, this presented some pain points. One is that all the integrations lacked proper tests. They were all factored into either the main package or the Llama Hub repo. And so anytime any one of these dependencies updated, you had to update the version of the entire package. So integration updates were packaged with the llama index package updates. Also, there weren't explicit dependencies specified for each of these integrations. And so what happens is you would try importing, say, Anthropic LLM, it would break because it would say that you don't have the Anthropic SDK installed, so then you have to go and manually install the dependencies. It just wasn't a very clean, nice experience, and also made it hard to update your code for fear of
Damn,
breaking
we're gonna
other
500
applications.
units out
There
of
was
my
also the
price
fact
range.
that Llama Hub, contained a lot of these integrations, but also the core Llama Index repo contained the rest of these integrations, right? So Llama Hub had data loaders, tools, templates, and then Llama Index had vector stores, LLMs, embeddings, and more. So the main change we had, and this is really the biggest change, is we created Llama Index core, which lives within the Llama Index repo, and this contains all the core abstractions in the library. And then the rest of the folders in the repo, for the rest of these folders, we created separate packages
300,
for all these
Jesus.
integrations and Llama packs. So this includes Llama Index integrations, Llama Index packs, Llama Index legacy, Llama Index experimental, Llama Index fine-tuning. The main ones that you probably should know about are Llama Index integrations and Llama Index packs. And then all our code, the old code in 0.9, is now in Llama Index legacy, in case you still want to make use of it. So we'll take you through a tour of the folder structure and what these integrations and packs now look like under the core repo in just a bit. In the meantime, we also created a Notion registry of all these packs.
Nice.
And so this is linked in the slides, which will be in the comments. But this is a temporary Notion registry that contains all the integrations, or a good chunk of the integrations that we have, along with the
check
Python
here. Yeah, I
packages,
think we're good. Yeah.
modules, classes, and PyPy packages. And we've now updated Llama Hub to actually include these this information as well. So this registry is now a little bit redundant, but it's still a great resource if you still want to use it. Okay, so let's actually dive into the folder structure of the Llama Index repo. So if we go into Llama Index, and let's say we take a look at Llama Index integration.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much longer we're gonna have this
we are now going to see
goofy
a lot of folders.
wizard
Agents,
situation,
callbacks,
so
embeddings,
gotta leverage it while I
extractors,
can, right?
vectors, indices, LLMs. This is now the folder for all possible third-party integrations within Llama Index. And the third-party integrations are just subclasses on top of any of the base classes that we have, and these subclasses are third-party backed. So let's take a look at data loaders, right, which formerly were under Llama Hub, but now they're readers under Llama Index integrations.
I really need to play with this
more. We
more.
go into readers, and we see all 160 plus integrations within Llama Index, within the readers folder. So the data loaders include like Airtable, to GraphQL, to Microsoft OneDrive, SharePoint, Milvus, and the folder structure is pretty unique, and actually conveys a lot about how do you actually use this integration. So let's say I want to use the Notion data loader, right? And I'll show you in a notebook example in just a bit, but let's take the Notion one right here. Let's zoom in. So this folder name corresponds to the package name. So if you want to use the Notion integration, you just have to pip install Llama Index readers Notion.
Ooh, I'm not sure if I like that, honestly.
Right here. If we click into the folder, you'll see that there's a variety of different supporting files needed to packagify this this folder. So this includes a README, which right now is blank, as well as a PyProject. Right? And this is really a lightweight PyProject model that allows you to packagify this integration. You can see there's some dependencies, which is mostly actually the Llama Index core. But for any of these packages, if you do have third-party dependencies, they can go in here. Let me go back really quick. So the next thing that you'll notice is that if you go into like the source files, you'll see that within this integration folder, you have some more nested folders, Llama Index readers Notion. And if you click into the folder, Llama Index readers Notion, you'll see the source file for this integration based on Python. is the Notion page reader. Why do we do this? Like, why do we nest the source file under llama-index-readers.notion? It's to actually preserve namespace inputs, so that you'll see in just a bit when you actually pip install llama-index-readers.notion. Then to use this integration, all you have to do is do from llama-index.readers.notion to actually use it. And so you don't have to basically import a separate package and try to figure out what that import module name is. We preserve the namespace of llama-index and submodules, and then the experience is actually very, very similar to what it was like in previous versions. So it's very neat because basically you get all the benefits of having separate packaged integrations without having to learn the namespaces and module names of all of these, because you can just preserve the whole structure. Right. And so we say this: the llama-index namespace is preserved during imports. Let's take a look at a brief usage example. So let's take a look at both LLM, a reader integration, and also a llama pack. So for LLMs, let's say we want to install the Anthropic LLM. What you want to do is you want to pip install llama-index. So llama-index contains llama-index core now, but also some kind of default packages. And because a lot of our examples use OpenAI by default, we install a lot of the OpenAI integrations under this top-level llama-index package. So we'll install that. You could also just do llama-index core if you wanted to. And we'll also install llama-index LLMs Anthropic. This you can also find here, going back to integrations, LLMs.
Oh my god.
And then you can see here, this is the package name, which is also the folder name. So we install this, and we already have it. And then we go in, and then I'm going to zoom in just one more time. And then you see to import this module, you actually just do from llama-index.llms.anthropic import Anthropic. Once you import this, then the usage is very similar to what we've had before. You just call LLM equal Anthropic, and you call it LLM.complete. And so we'll just pass in this just to show you how this works. Right, and you're able to call Claude. The next example here is to use a data loader. So, we went over the Notion reader, and we'll pip install it. And clear outputs. And then you see to import the Notion page reader, we just do from llama-index.readers.notion. And then to use the Notion reader, it's just very similar to what we had before. You just initialize Notion page reader with an integration token and load in the data. This is just a dummy page which contains the Paul Graham essay. And so if you see here, if you get content from the documents, this is just the What I Worked On essay by Paul Graham. Great. Yeah. And then the last example I'll show in terms of usage is llama packs. Llama packs is actually under a separate folder. And as a reminder, llama packs is a rich source of templates for you to easily get started. And you can either run them out of the box, or you can directly download them and inspect the source code. And so here, we have all the llama packs under llama index packs right here. And you can go in, take a look at the packs, and similarly to integrations, pip install them by their folder name. And if you click into, say, like any one of these packs, you'll also see like a PyProject, requirements, and also the source files. And of course, the source files also follow the folder structure, so that you can preserve the namespace during imports. So by pip installing llama-index pack sentence window retriever, this is a pack that demonstrates an advanced RAG technique of small to big retrieval. Then all you have to do is import it from llama-index packs.sentence window retriever, import this pack, and then run it. And actually the documents are loaded in the example above. We print the response. You get back the answer. Okay. So, in general, for these imports, there are some breaking changes compared to previous versions of llama index. The first thing to note is that if you want to use a core abstraction, you need to do llama-index.core. And so if you have previous imports before, like llama-index.query engine, you just need to replace it with llama-index.core.query engine. And this is what allows us to put all the base abstractions under the core subpackage, and then every other integration under their own folders. So if you want to import a retriever query engine, which can take in a retriever, synthesize a response for it for your RAG query setup, you just have to do llama-index.core. For every other integration and module, the main thing you have to note is that you can't do from llama-index.llms import OpenAI now. You have to specifically specify the module name when you import the integration. This is just a function of how these folders are set up. Because when we pip install the package, it'll pip install that specific like subfolder structure. And so like if you want to use an LLM or vector store, just directly specify the submodule name along with the folder. Now the other thing just to note is we had Llama Hub as a package that is now deprecated, and so data loaders, tools, packs, everything under Llama Hub is now under Llama Index. And as we showed in integrations, like they're all under folders. So like all the data loaders are under readers now. And so if you want to use a Slack reader, it's no longer from llama-hub.readers.slack.base. It's now from llama-index.readers.slack. We have a full-on migration guide right here that we linked in the blog post as well as in the changelog. And this migration guide contains all the information you need if you're upgrading from an early llama-index version. The one thing that I want to point out is that if there's a lot of llama-index dependencies in your code base and you don't want to manually go in and try to change everything, we actually have an automatic script that you can run that will basically do some find and replace on the imports. So all you have to do is do a llama-index CLI upgrade, and then either point it to a directory or do upgrade file and point it to a file. And it will just replace all the imports in that file to be compatible with V10. So give it a shot. A few users during the early preview have said that sometimes it's a little painful to change these, but hopefully this tool mitigates some of that. Great, and a closely related second point here is that due to the package refactor, we've expanded the concept of Llama Hub, where Llama Hub is now a site that has been revamped to include all the integrations and templates within Llama Index.
Oh, nice.
The main goal here really is to just, create the overall, just be the central place that contains all third-party community contributed stuff. And if you go on llama-hub.ai, you'll see there's a lot more tabs. Everything is counted as an integration. This includes agents, callbacks, data loaders, embeddings, evaluation, all these different things. And I'm going to zoom in really quick. Llama Hub used to just be data loaders, tools, and Llama packs, and now we've expanded it to include all the integrations. If you go to all the data loaders, it's a very similar experience as before. We preserved all the data loaders from before. You click into one of these, you'll be able to see the README, the usage pattern. And of course, we also have a lot of new integrations, right? And you can see, for each of these integrations, there's certain download counts. There are, usage guides, and we don't have the READMEs added to a lot of these quite yet. But what we do have is a default snippet on showing how you can pip install everything, as well as import the module. So this is to help, tide you over, and we're actually doing a call out to the community to help us contribute README. So if you're up for it, just let us know. And the last thing to call out here is that, we used to have the Llama Hub repo, which is here.
It's so fucking bad. Holy shit.
That this repo is now deprecated because all the integrations live in
Oh my god.
Llama Index now. Of course, Llama Hub as a concept and as a website still exists, but the repo itself, we're going to migrate everything over. The last thing I'll call out is that for anyone who's used Llama Index, we deprecated service context. So service context
Unbelievable.
was this overall container object that contained LLMs, embeddings, parameters around text splitting, like chunk size, all these things. And it caused a bunch of headaches because one, it was laborious to import and use. Two, it was oftentimes confusing to figure out what stuff it actually contained because it also contained a lot of defaults that weren't really visible to the user to begin with. And in general, it was just kind of a pain. So we are deprecating it. None of the current core abstractions now actually require service context. In fact, we're going to remove service context in the near future. And in the meantime, all the default examples for using any of the llama index abstractions will not include service context. Instead, to actually pass in, for instance, like an LLM embedding to an index, retriever, or anything else, you can either do one of two things. You can either directly pass in these modules to any sort of higher level modules, or you can define global settings. So we have resources here to show you how to get started. And this is also
I think those are at least 40. I'm not sure.
And so this is in the second section of that notebook. So for deprecating service context, we are replacing it with some usage examples of showing how you can directly pass in these modules or define a global settings object. Again, we'll use a copy of the polygram essay. And actually here in this example, we'll show you how to do like the quick start tutorial of Llama Index using only local modules. And so using OLLAMA for the LLMs as well as Hugging Face embeddings. So similar to before, we're going to pip install these integrations. Let's clear this. And now let's take a look at how do you directly pass in modules. It really is pretty simple, but the quick start tutorial essentially looks like the following. You first load in these documents, the polygram essay. There's no change here. The second is you define the LLM and embedding model. There's also no change here. And then the third piece is you index the documents using vector store index from documents. And in the past, it might have been look something like this. Service context, where you had to pass in the embedding model into the service context, like something like this. Right, and as you can see, this was a lot to write and also painful and kind of confusing to understand. So instead, all you have to do is pass in the embedding model into the indexing process. Let's run this. And then the next piece is that now your data is indexed, and then you want to query it. And so you get back a query engine, and again, instead of passing a service context, which contains like a bunch of different parameters, all you have to do is pass in the LLM into this query engine. And the LLM is OLLAMA Mr. 7B. So let's run this.
Okay, cool.
It takes a little bit of time because this is running locally on my MacBook, but you get back a response.
30 seconds. Good luck, buddy.
Okay. And the second mode of doing this is just
I heard two of them, so.
Settings that you might just
Oh,
want to
buddy, you don't have time to fight this.
globally, because for a lot of things you might not want to maintain the variable that you pass.
Hopefully you do.
So this could be LLMs if you have a global LLM you just want to use. If you have a global embedding model. A very
I guess that'll work.
Here is like callbacks.
Should be fine.
So if you have like
as long as it doesn't happen underground.
That you don't want multiple callbacks, all you have to do is define like callback manager equals callback manager.
Oh no, buddy.
This just shows how to set the embedding model and LLM onto this overall set. And all you have to do is from Llama.
Oh no, buddy. There it is.
And once you set
No, don't give up.
for basically any
There was one right through the door.
Downstream, you basically don't need to actually define the relevant module. You basically just don't need to worry about specifying anything you already defined in the global defaults. And so if you run this and then run the query engine, you get back. You basically use OLLAMA and Hugging Face embeddings because you defined it here, and you get back the same result. Great. Okay. So that's basically it. And so, a lot of this information is in our launch blog post, Llama Index v10, and it contains details about everything that we just talked about. Also contains information about the migration guide and these things. And then very quickly, the last thing that I'll say is that because we've centralized everything into the Llama Index repo, now contributing an integration in pack is actually easier than before, right? It's easier to submit an integration and, importantly, test the integration, to package it and define the dependencies that you want to specify. So it honestly just feels a lot less jank. And so we welcome contributions from anyone for any sort of integration pack template. And all you have to do,
well, there's a hackathon prize,
is to go in to the repo, do cd llama index packs or llama index integrations, and through our cli command, you can actually just call llama index cli new package.
Cli?
Packs.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Or any one of the sub integrations that we have, and this
Cli.
will automatically spin up an empty package with a PyProject toml, README, and a blank directory structure.
Oh, I should have been
just
seeing if
in,
there was
add
chat
the
in my
source
bed.
files, fill out
There
the
isn't,
package
thank God.
and submit it. And so basically when you submit the PR, this will automatically get created as a new package that people can install. So it's a very neat process. We put a lot of time into making this very effortless for you. And so would highly encourage you to contribute anything. And of course, we're happy to feature you on our socials as well. So with that, that's basically it. And check out all the links in the blog post. The slides are also in the comments, and the notebook.
That could be fun. Maybe we'll do that later. I do need to make a landing page, but it could be fun to go hit that up. Okay, so takeaways. You have to pip install individual data loaders, which, like, I'm not sure if I like that. Like, I assume maybe it does make things easier. I don't know. It seems a little sussy-wussy, you know? Because before, couldn't you just call them? Like, you just installed Llama Index and then you could call. Thank you, Sweaty Foot Taster. I appreciate the invite. Yeah, and then we have a couple of Notion pages and stuff to check out, which, like, that's cool. I like that. If they did actually make it easier for people to contribute, I am gonna dissect that to the ends of the earth, because I think, at least in modern software development terms, the super modern, the bleeding edge, I suppose. Considering I am a software developer who learned to do development work, I shouldn't say I'm a software developer. I am a person who learned to do software development work in the era of generative large models. And as such, it is apparent to me that there's no reason for me to close source anything, because I can just wait a year and then walk up to whatever the SOTA model is for coding and say, give me this, and it will. So these types of things where you set up your project from the start to be open source and provide infrastructure to make it very easy for people to leverage the fact that you're open source, I think is secretly the way to actually make a profitable company. But the disparity I notice is the open source projects, like, it doesn't occur to them that you can just also have a paid version that you host or deploy or do whatever with, like LlamaHub.ai. Well, I guess they're maybe like monetizing or getting a user base via Llama Hub because they want active contributors to be their only users effectively. Or like maybe like commercial customers are considered beyond scope, but OSS projects always do that, and it's like, you don't have to do that. Like, not everybody is gonna know how to learn how to code or like bother to like go through the hassle of self-hosting everything. So like, yes, put notebooks and cookbooks in your OSS repo, but you can also just have like llamaindex.ai and be like, hey, here's a chatbot with a data loader already on it. Do you want to give us like $5 a month and just use this thing? We would appreciate it. If not, here's all the code to go do it yourself. Um, like I don't know. It's like uh, it seems silly to me that like projects aren't doing that. Um, maybe I'm just like dumb and I'm completely missing something. And I get like the open source free software, but it is. It all the software is still free and it should be. I think it's kind of shitty to like paywall your code, but that's just like, my opinion, man. Um, but yeah, like just take your open source thing and host it somewhere and like charge a small amount of money for it so people have a very easy way to just give you money. Um, like it seems because I had that problem. I guess I'm talking to myself now. Well, I had that problem. I was talking with one of the people from Agora. I don't know if you're familiar with that organization, person who's watching this later. Um, and Kai has some interesting opinions about open source, which I will not comment on. But he and I were talking one day, and I was like complaining, like, "Hey, it's really hard to get people to actually pay me for stuff." And he's like, "Well, did you ask them? Like, did you ask them to pay you?" And I was like, "Well, actually, not every time." And it seems like that is sort of a thing that happens with open source, and why, and not even because you as an open source like maintainer or like project maker, not even necessarily because you need a easy way for people to give you money. Like that's helpful, obviously. It's good to have that. But more to like shift the Overton window of like, hey, like you can have a commercial product that also has a free version that like people can go set up if they want to and if they're technical enough. But you can still make something for people who aren't technical enough. Like there's nothing preventing that. There's no like magic rule that says you have to not do that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's my fucking soapbox. Anyway, we survived. That poor fighter, man. That poor guy. I hate that map because that happens to me all the time too. And like, this is a pretty decent kit, right? I don't really want to just throw this away because a portal spawned on the wrong floor, you know? Especially because I ran into all of 0 people that whole time. Do I have a gray invisi? Okay, I don't. 23, huh? Yes, I still have gingerbread men. My investment will pay off. I'm bag holding gingerbread men. Don't judge me. Dog shit. Although maybe the Lightfoots or the laced. But yeah, I don't know if you saw the move speed on these, but it's kind of fucking insane. Do need to replace that because I got absolutely butt blasted by goblins. Let's see. Okay. Well, I think that's it. That was a very short cohere thing. I was like 10 minutes late and it was already done, which is kind of a bummer. But they were doing math, so I probably wouldn't have understood it anyway. Alright, well, I'm gonna call it here and then maybe be back later. I might just stream like working on the landing page because it's gonna be me fumbling through like baby's first, like, how do I take a thing off Vercel and put it on my domain? So I guess stay tuned for that if you like watching like, I don't know, people being dumb. I'm very good at that. Okay, ta-ta for now.